Hello lovelies, welcome back to my channel. My name is Emma. If you're seeing this channel for the first time, you're very much welcome. So in this video today, I'll be showing you how to make this one shoulder top with mini pleats on the side and an asymmetric lower part. So you've seen it on your screen. If you like the way it is looking, please do well to watch to the end while I get started with the video. I have my pattern paper here. I'll be drafting this on a paper and I'm placing it on a fold. So I'm drafting like a full front pattern. So this on a fold, I have my starting line there, which is 0.5 inches from the top. The next line I have is my chest line at 8 inches, and then my bust point line at 10.5 inches, and then I have my waistline at 17 inches. So I'm not marking any underbust because I don't need that for this project. And then the full length is 24 inches, and I have an extra 1 inch for the hemming allowance at the lower part. So now going on to take my circumference measurement on my starting line, which is also serving as my shoulder line, I'll take my shoulder to shoulder measurement divided by 2, that is 7.5 inches. I've marked it on my shoulder line there and on my chest line. So I'll just connect those 2 points with a straight line, and I'll take a neck width of 3 inches. So I'm taking this 3 inches so that I can get my shoulder slope. Now on that armhole line I just drew, the straight line there, I'll come down by 1 inch and I'll just draw it straight to meet the 3 inches neck width. Now it's time to take my armhole curve. So this new line I have, I'll measure what I have fully and I'll divide it by 2. So I'll mark the midpoint of the line basically, and I'll go in by 0.75 inches. I like to use 0.75 inches. And now on my chest line, I'll go ahead and take my bust circumference measurement divided by 4, which is 9.75. So I'll mark it there on the chest line and I'll just make a curve all around this point I have marked. So from the chest line, curving through the midpoint of that armhole line and all the way to the shoulder slope. So there I have my armhole curve. And the next thing to do is to mark out my darts. So I'm going to take my bust span measurement on my bust point line, my waistline, and the full length of this top. So I'm going in by my bust span measurement divided by 2, which is 4 inches. And I'm connecting all those points straight from the bust point down to the full length. Now on the waistline, I'm going out by 0.5 inches. This is just a basic dart. So I'll just connect it with an inverted triangle all the way to the top, to the bust point, and then to the lower part as well. So this is it for the dart. I'm going to close this dart on this paper, but before we do that, let's take the circumference measurement. So on my chest line, I'm going to mark my bust span measurement, which I already have there, as 9.75, and I'm adding 1 inch for the allowance, only 1 inch. I'm doing the same thing on my bust point line, my bust measurement divided by 4 plus 1 inch. And now on my waistline, I'm going to mark my waist circumference divided by 4, and then I'm going to add 1 inch to replace the dart, and then I'm going to add 1 inch for the sewing allowance. And on the full length, I'm marking my hip measurement here, and then I'm adding only 1 inch for the sewing allowance. So now I'm going to just connect the points together. So I replace the 1 inch on the dart on the waistline because I'm going to be closing this dart on the paper, right? So now just connect the points together on the side, and then I'm just trying to make it more visible with my marker here. So now I've marked everything out. I'll just go ahead and cut it starting from the sides. I'll just follow the shape there, and then I'll also cut out the shoulder slope and the armhole as well. I'll go ahead and open it up so we can draft out the neckline. So before I cut out the neckline, I would replace the lines I have on one side. When it was on a fold, the lines we drafted out, I'll just replace it. I'll just extend it to this other side that is bare, and this is it here. I also marked the dart as well on this other side. So before I cut out the neckline, I'm just going to label this right side and left side so that I know where my one shoulder will be and the part that would not have the shoulder. So you can decide to make the shoulder on the right side or on the left side. So I want my shoulder to be on the right side and the part without the shoulder would be on the left side. So I'm just marking my neck width on this other side as well of 3 inches, and I'm just going to use my curve ruler to just stick it down with a little curve, a very slight curve. So I didn't want to make it really deep, so you can decide to go in to scoop in the neckline well, but I'm just using my curve ruler to just do this. And now that I'm done drawing out the curve, I'll just go ahead and cut it out. So that is it for the top part, and now I'm going over to the lower part so that we can carve out the asymmetric shoulder. It's also going to take like the opposite of the top. So I want the longer side to be on the right side, and on the left side would be the shorter side. So I'm just going to curve from the left side down to meet the right side, I think around the dart area. But before I make the curve, I'll go ahead and close the dart on the left side, because the curve is going to pass through the dart, so I don't want to have shortage by the time I am done curving. So if I close the dart after curving, I'm going to have some shortage. So after closing the dart, I'll just come down from my waistline there on the left side. I'll come down by 2 inches, so that is where I want my curve to start from, and I'll just take it downwards to the right side. So using my curve ruler again, I'm just going to take it this way and stop somewhere around the dart area of the right side. So please just pay attention to what I am doing. I'm just going to blend it with my hand like this, and then I'll add an allowance of 1 inch. So the 2 inches I came down by on the left side does not include the allowance. So I'm just going to add the allowance and also stop at the allowance of the right side. So this is it for the lower part. I'll also go ahead and cut it out. Now that I am done cutting the asymmetric curve, I'll go ahead and close the dart on the right side. So I'll just pick one side, fold it over to the next side, and use a tip to just secure it in place. And now see how it is looking. It's already looking so nice on the paper. Now the next thing to do is to make the pleats on the side, and the pleats are going to be on the left side. And to do that, I'll have to slash through this left side. So I'll first of all measure the entire length of the left side, which is 11 inches. I'm just writing it there so I don't forget. So I'll measure the entire thing so that by the time I slash and spread, when I have to pleat it on the fabric, I know just where to stop, which is 11 inches. So from the edge there, I'm just drawing straight lines inwards. They don't have to be the same, they don't have to be equal. I'm just making some short, some long, some are extending through the midpoint. It doesn't really matter. I'm drawing this line so that I have a landmark to follow when I want to slash through it. So in total I had about 9 lines, but it doesn't really matter. Now I'll proceed to just slash it, cutting through the lines, the first one all the way to the last one I had drawn out. That this is done, it's time for me to spread what I have slashed. So to do that, I'm going to need another paper. You can spread this directly on your fabric, but I'm just going to spread this on another paper. So placing the plain paper underneath the slashed one, I'll go ahead and just open it up. So the first slash, I'm just going to extend it this way and use my tape to hold it down. And then the distance between one slash and the other slash is about 1 inch. I know I didn't follow this all through because I know that some of the spaces were less than 1 inch, but you can make yours 1 inch or 2 inches. It just depends on how full you want the pleats to be. I'm just using my sellotape to hold everything down so that it can lay flat, and then I'll proceed to cut out the sides. So anywhere I have the excess paper that I placed underneath, anywhere I have the paper shooting out, I'll just cut it off. Now measuring what I have on this side, after spreading everything, I have 17 inches. You know, initially I had 11 inches, so I have been able to spread it up to 17 inches, excluding the allowance. The next thing to do is to slash the shoulder. So yes, the shoulder is also going to have some pleats, and for that I'm going to draw about 3 lines that I can slash through, just like I did for the side. So after drawing the lines, I'm just going to slash it inwards, just like this. And I'll also place a plain paper underneath it so that I can spread it open. So I'll use my sellotape to just secure everything in place. So we are done drafting the pattern. This is everything for the pattern for this top, and now it is time to cut it out on the fabric. So I'm going to be cutting out the front and the back with the same pattern. So I'm cutting the front and the back together, and the fabric I'm using for this is crepe. This crepe is not stretchy. I would advise you use a stretchy crepe if you're not going to be fixing your zipper. So for this crepe I used about 1.5 yards of the fabric, and I'm going to place my fabric on a fold wrong sides facing. So you know, normally you place it right sides facing, but this time you're going to place it wrong sides facing because of the shoulder, because of one shoulder. So it's going to be placed on the wrong side facing each other, and I'm going to place the pattern on it. So this is on a fold. It doesn't necessarily have to be on a fold because you're cutting a full pattern, so you can just place a separate fabric on another separate fabric, but just make sure they are wrong sides facing. And now I am not going to be attaching a zipper to this top. So in case you're wondering where is my zipper allowance, you're cutting the two together, I am not attaching any zipper to this. So if I want to attach a zipper to this, I still can by putting the zipper on the side. but I am not going to attach any zipper here. So I'm just placing the paper on here, making sure that everything is flat so that I don't have shortage, I don't have the paper bulging upwards. So I'm using my pins to just secure it in place like I have done here. Everything is laying flat on the fabric, and now go ahead and add 0.5 inches allowance to the shoulder, the armhole and the neckline, and I'll proceed to cut everything out. Now for the lower part and the side, I'm not going to add any allowance because remember we added our allowance on the paper. So now that this is done, I'll just go ahead and take off the pins so that we can see what we have. And here, this is it. Remember that this fabric was cut out wrong sides together. So now it's time to start sewing. I went ahead to also cut out interfacing for this neck area, and I made sure that the interfacing covered the entire shoulder. So I'll go ahead and sew it, placing it right sides facing this time. I'll place the interfacing on the fabric, right sides facing. I'll just pin it and keep that aside. And for the back side, let's just call this the back part of the blouse. I would also place it right sides facing with the interfacing, and then I'm just going to sew it. So this is it after sewing. When I turn it over, I made some notches here and then I gave it a very good press. So this is the front side of the top and then this is the back side of the top. So now placing them right sides together, I'll go ahead and join the shoulders. And to join the shoulders, I have to make pleats first. But I also want the pleats to be only on the main fabric. I don't want any pleats on the interfacing so that my shoulder area is not going to be too bulky. So I'll open up the interfacing this way and then I'll make my pleats on the main fabric just like this. So I'm making only 3 mini pleats on the shoulder. So just placing it like this, I'm going to pin everything down. So I'll just pick a little and pin it down to hold it in place. I'll pick the second one and then just pin, and I'll pick the third one and pin as well. So what I have done on the first shoulder there, I'll do it on the other shoulder. That's the back shoulder. So the same thing, I'll just pinch a little bit, pin it, pinch, pin, and then for the last one as well. So now that this is done, I'll just place it together, making sure that I have that midpoint where I have the joining between the main fabric and the interfacing. I'll make sure I have it aligned and I'll just make a straight stitch across. So from the shoulder to the interfacing, just straight that way. So I'm doing this so that I can have a clean finish underneath around the shoulder area by the time I'm done. So this is it after sewing. I sewed it with the pins in place so that the pleats does not move around. So I'll just turn it over to the right side like this, and now you know that I cut out the interfacing exactly the same as the shoulder of the main fabric. So I'll go ahead and trim off the excess I have because I did not make pleats on the interfacing. I hope you understand what I'm saying. So now that the shoulder is done, that's everything for the shoulder part, I'll go ahead to make the pleats on the side. So remember that it was initially supposed to be 11 inches, but what I have here is 17 inches. So I also need 1 extra inch for the hemming allowance. So everything's supposed to be about 12 inches. So I'll make sure I pleat until I get to about 12 inches, and then I would stop pleating. So if you really want your pleats to be even, you can use the pattern as a guide to know where to pick your pleats from. But I'm just doing mine randomly. So I'm picking at any point and folding it and pinning for now before I go ahead to sew it together. So this is just like rough gathers. And here I'll just stop to confirm if I have gotten to 12 inches. And yes, I have 12 inches here. So I'm going to go ahead and do the exact same thing I've done here on the other side. That's on the other fabric, which is the back. Now that I am done picking all the pleats, I'll go ahead and place the fabrics right sides facing each other, and I'll proceed to sew the sides down. So remember that I added only 1 inch on the paper when I drafted it out for the allowance on the side. So I'm going to just use 1 inch to sew the sides together, the 2 sides. As you can see here, I've joined the sides and my fabric had a different color. Well, it's because of the weather. So moving on, I'll just turn it over to the right side so that we can finish up this top. So I've not ironed it yet, and I'm just going to hem the lower part first. So I'll hem the armhole as well and the lower part with a bias, just sewing it on the edge and then folding it inwards so that I can have a neat finish at the lower part and the armhole. And this is what we have. We are done with this top. Thank you guys so much for watching this video up to this point. Please do well to give it a thumbs up, also share, and please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. This is how this top looked on me. I really love the outcome, and I'm sure going to make it in other colors. Thank you guys so much for watching once again. I'll see you in my next one. Bye bye.